Good morning, everyone. The last time you saw us, we were exploring the pink city of Jaipur, but since then we have made our way over to one of the holiest cities in the world, Varanasi.
Today we are so excited because we are finally getting to do something we have always wanted to do, and that is to take a sunrise boat tour on the Ganges River and explore its world-famous banks.
So now seems like the perfect time to tell you guys a little bit more about Varanasi. It's a city that we're really excited to be in, and it's a city that we've been wanting to go to in India for a long time. So for those who are Hindu, Varanasi is a very special place because the Ganges River, or the Ganges River, depending on where you come from, how to pronounce it, is very important and special because it's said that as a Hindu, if you die here by the Ganges River and are cremated here, you are freed from the cycle of rebirth and there's a possibility of salvation, which is super interesting.
Yeah.
We don't totally 100% understand it.
We're trying to learn.
But we know it's really important, and the water itself is also very important. You can see a lot of people bathing in the water, and that is because it purifies?
It releases you from your sins. So it's like people bathe in the Ganges River to wash away their sins. So people come here and they seem to be bathing here very regularly.
Varanasi is really known for its importance around death and ritual and ceremony. So a lot of people come to the Ganges River to perform lots of different rituals. And there's some spots, two places, you can see people getting cremated. Now we couldn't quite get videos there.
Yeah,
it's not really.
It's like a funeral, right? Our guide told us we could take some shots just from really far away, and that's what we grabbed. But yeah, you can see people being cremated here, and their ashes are then returned to the river. And the idea is that they are freed from this continuous cycle of rebirth.
It was really cool to see what's happening on the banks, though.
Especially at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
People are up, they're active, they're getting washed, they're starting their day here.
So we also opted to get the private boat tour, which is about 2,000 rupees, probably a lot more than you need to pay, but
Way more.
for us it was a little easier, especially when we're talking to you guys and bringing you guys along with us. But if you don't get the private tour, this is kind of what you're looking for.
But it's only 100 rupees each if you want to do that.
Nonetheless, I think a little boat tour to kind of tour across the banks is a really neat way to soak in the first little bit of Varanasi.
Yeah. Well, otherwise I think you just can't get the grandness of the space. So there's a bunch of things here called ghats, and a ghat is stairs leading down to a body of water. And so here in Varanasi, there's over 80 ghats, and people go to these different ghats, these different stairways leading down to the river, to do their bathing, to do their ceremonies, their rituals, to do the cremations. You can usually kind of walk across them all, along them all, almost like a promenade, but you can't right now, the water's too high. So this is a really nice way to see Varanasi, see the ghats, just get an idea of what's happening in this city, and just watch, because this is the kind of place you just need to sit back and just watch.
Now we're back on the banks, and we've got a great chance here to really admire Varanasi in the morning.
She's bright.
It's very bright.
It's very bright.
And it's so neat to be by the banks and see what people are up to.
At 7:30 or whatever time it is now.
There's a lot going on.
It's just peaceful though.
Yeah.
People are out doing things that you can tell they've done 100 times. It's just part of their day. It's really beautiful. I think this is the place to be in the morning. There is something very I don't know how to describe it. There's a feeling that the area has, I think especially in the morning, because people are really going about their bathing rituals and stuff, particularly in the morning. And I don't know, the whole place just has a feeling, an atmosphere. Wow. gonna get pooped on. Don't open your mouth.
So now we are heading over to the main ghats. Like Nicole said earlier, there's over 80 of them, and this one is supposedly like the oldest ghat. It's still quite early in the morning, so not a lot of shops are open, but that doesn't mean there's a shortage of things to look at. There are lots of things to dodge as you're walking through, both in front of you and also on your feet, because it is not the cleanest walking path through a city that we've been on. But I think that's a little bit of the Varanasi charm for you. To head over to the main ghat, we have to walk through this like kind of street market. It is just opening up, but believe it or not, there are still like lots of people already selling things. A lot of the shops are still closed, but there's lots of people like basically setting up stalls and shops on the floor, on tables. You're still dodging people as you're walking too, so it's a very lively market.
Wow.
So we've made our way to the main ghat here in Varanasi. It's called Dashashwamedh Ghat. I hope I'm saying that right. It is. It's one of the oldest ghats here, and it's like the main one.
Yeah.
And they say it's the ghat that Brahma created to welcome Shiva, which is really cool. Lots of things going on here too, as with everything in Varanasi. But you can see a lot of people performing their like almost cleansing rituals at the Ganges River.
I find myself feeling like a little dazed as we walk around here. Like it doesn't seem to matter where we go. I just feel a little bit like maybe overwhelmed. Like there is just so much. There's so much to see. There's so much to look at. There's so much to make sure you're not going to step at. There's so many smells. And there's always people approaching us. Like people are constantly trying to sell us stuff. And it like, maybe overwhelming is the right word, but I just feel like all my energy needs to go into like making sure I don't trip over something or step in something or like accidentally fall in the river. Something. I just feel a little like, I think dazed is the right word.
Also, around the ghat here, there are these platforms where there are some like men sitting on them. They are like seen as holy leaders, and I guess you can go and talk to them, and I don't really know what they would do. I imagine it's like talking to like your own faith leader at home, like a pastor or a priest, but I think they like maybe talk through your sins and help cleanse you of some of your sins in addition with the river, have a more spiritual experience and do some like ceremonies here as well, so it's kind of neat. Although we have heard online that sometimes that they're their own like self-proclaimed holy leaders, so maybe the legitimacy in terms of like a faith perspective might not be like standardized, let's call it that way. So guys, it's been some time now since we last saw you. We were so tired and it got so hot. We decided to just head in, do a little bit of editing, wait for it to cool down a bit, and then come back out again to show you more of Varanasi. I was gonna bring you guys up when we actually get to where we're going, but I figured I'd do it right now and show you the chaos of being at one of the streets here in Varanasi. It's just so busy and there's so many people. It's just so overwhelming to like all your senses. We're on our way. Our chosen mode of transportation for today is human-powered rickshaw.
Yeah, first time. We haven't taken one yet. We see them all over the place here in India, and we actually haven't been on one yet. So today's the day.
It's a very small seat. I'm not sure if this is for one person.
I feel like it should be for one person. We don't really fit on this seat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are headed over to Assi Ghat, which is, I think, the largest ghat here in Varanasi. It's also one of the newer ones.
So far, something that's really nice about this ghat is that it's so much bigger that I just feel like all the people who are trying to sell you stuff are more spread out. So we're not getting approached as much. There's a little more space to breathe, walk around, just kind of like take in the sights, take in the feeling of the space, and watch people do all the rituals that they come to Varanasi to do.
So one of the cool things about Assi Ghat is they have this big peepal tree here, and at the base of that peepal tree are some shrines and some lingams, which is like a divine symbol in Hinduism. And a lot of people would go to the river, cleanse themselves, and then come up to the tree and like pray or worship at the shrines or at the base of the tree, which is actually really neat. I don't think the other ghats have that, so this one makes it a little bit more unique. That's really neat. They got like all sorts of like food vendors right beside the Ganges River.
Yeah, and I was
that's
just
cool.
noticing there's like a bunch of like tabley, benchy things that like all people are just sitting on and chatting and eating their snacks and stuff. So this looks like a much more like communal area, like a place to properly hang out.
Guys, this is like a one-stop shop here. You don't have to go anywhere else. You get your food here, you get your views of the river,
You got a table.
You get your cleansing and your spiritual ceremonies, and your
one to come to.
your people tree. You're good.
So even though there is like a big ceremony about to start, and so there are a lot of people here, it definitely feels calmer. People are just like hanging out. They got like their whole family around them. They're all just lounging, drinking some chai, or just chilling. It feels way calmer in this really big ghat than any of the other ghats that we've been to.
We are waiting for the Ganga Aarti to start, which is like a ceremony that happens every single night, and
You don't know what it's for?
I don't know what it's for.
I'm serious saying that? I don't either. We're gonna look that up. One second.
Okay, we're back. We are now slightly more educated thanks to the power of Wikipedia and Google. So the Ganga Aarti is like a ritual that is performed at the banks of the Ganges River. And basically what it is, it's like an offering of like fire and light to the Ganga, which is in Hindu religion an actual deity. All right, I think we're gonna cut this short. I think it's about to start.
Yeah, I think we're starting, so we're gonna watch the ceremony, and hopefully it's cool for you guys too. And there was just so much going on. It was like, what do I take in?
It was really awesome. Yeah. Like really a full body experience. You can smell it, you can hear it. You can get some of the, there's some water splashing at us at some points.
True.
But now the peace is gone and the chaos is here as everybody's trying to leave at once. So that's our cue to basically end this vlog.
Yeah, so we are going to leave you here. That is the end of our time here in Varanasi. And the next time we see you guys, we are going to be in Kolkata, stuffing our face full of delicious Indian food.
Thanks for watching. We probably should have taken like religious studies more seriously when we were in school.
Now I really wish I knew all this.
To be fair, we went to a Catholic school and like.
So we took religious studies, but we just learned about one.
Yeah, but we just learned about one.
Bummer.
It's amazing how many like different religions there are in the world and how like so cool and interesting they are.